Hey, welcome to the next episode of Discipline, Desire, and Dedication. This is episode 4. My name is Dakota Lang. This is Garrett Cotton with us. So we're glad to, really appreciate the support that we've gotten so far. We've only had, 2 episodes posted already and have a lot of support from our friends and family, and heck, people that we don't even know have already reached out to us and started picking our brain a little bit to see exactly what we have going over here in Denver office. So kind of just explain on what we're going to go over today.
Yeah, so ultimately for today's podcast, we're looking at really getting into the nitty gritty of motivation, where it stems from, where you can start implementing things in your life to start seeing a more routine motivation. For us, I noticed that whenever we started with the company, we were still, it was making a very big change to change our entire lives. And it's not just changing the work that we're doing, it's changing the day to day. So waking up earlier than we've ever woken up before, just ultimately mastering the time that we have in our day. So what's some of the things that you've done to see that you've noticed in your daily routine that you've kind of implemented to start helping yourself stay motivated?
Yeah, definitely. This kind of goes back to the last episode where we kind of talked about our goal setting and stuff like that. And as far as my routines, your cold shower, you're waking up at 5 a.m. every morning, just really holding yourself accountable because, those little wins is what keeps you motivated, keeps, on that success pattern to where you can reach that ultimate goal like we were talking last time. The biggest thing I would say about motivation is that you have to find your why. Why are you going to do what you're going to do to stay motivated? A lot of people, they haven't found their purpose in life.
And how about some examples of some whys? So like common reasons, like ultimately you have like young fathers and stuff like that are coming in. Their motivation is to provide a life for their children.
Exactly.
People who don't have have kids or even a girlfriend and stuff like that. Like Dylan Kerfasi's 20 years old. What do you think his motivation is? In my opinion, I think that his motivation is he's going to be the one in his family that changes his family name. That's his why. That's why he's 20 years old, made over $200,000 in his first year in this company. You can have another reason why is you can just be tired of your old life. You can be just ready for a change. But ultimately, you have to evaluate your own life and figure out what it is that you want to see. So, along with motivation, it kind of starts with the small steps, right? So whenever I noticed that for my first 4 months in this company, I did change a lot in my life, but I didn't start to notice change in my life yet. So it's not going to happen overnight is the biggest thing that I'm getting at.
And go ahead. I'll let you reflect on this a lot. Like you said, it's not going to happen overnight. Let's talk about your habits to bring that motivation. Because habits are easy to form, good, bad, indifferent, whatever habits you want to create. But that's how you have to create that motivation to be able to have those habits. So kind of talk about like some habits that you've created in your life that you do to be able to make sure that you stay motivated day in and day out for a full 365.
Just for me personally, I've noticed that if you want to stay motivated and you want to continue to grow, the only way that you're going to do that is the self-growth. So you have to put a whole lot of time and energy into yourself, and that's where it starts. When you can start investing in yourself and you see that your life is starting to change as far as like your physical health, your mental clarity, your mental health. It's going out there, and all this comes from massive amounts of action. Taking control of the day, mastering the moment that you wake up, taking control. You're deciding when you get out of bed. You're deciding what you're doing when you roll out. You're deciding that you're going to go get something done rather than lay around and let the day just come to you. So it's doing that on a day-to-day basis, and it's going to. So it starts with self-growth will equal up to large victories.
And that's a great point there as far as, plateauing. We talk about it all the time. Your personal development is what's going to keep you motivated. You have to keep striving to become a better person, a better father, a better brother, a better, husband, whatever. Just a better person individually. And a lot of people where they lose their motivation is they plateau. So they come in and they get on their normal routine. They're not, I'm not even going to say it's for everybody on the 9 to 5, but a lot of people get in on their 9 to 5 job and they wake up every morning, they go to work, they come home, they cook dinner, they go to sleep.
Well, something I also add in on that is just like they come in and they plateau and they get comfortable in their job, they get comfortable, they find a routine that's comfortable for their life. It's the same thing as like they're okay and they're waiting for life to happen to them. If you're waiting for life to happen to you, guess what? It's not much is going to happen in your life. But if you go out and you conquer every day saying, I'm going to conquer this day, and this is day one. Every single day that I wake up is day one.
Yep.
And because just like on those doors, it's an empty pipeline. Unless if you accomplish something today, it's all about today. You have to accomplish something today. And it doesn't matter what you did yesterday, because today is day one. It's always going to be day one. But I think that's something that really, really grows people is like, as you were saying with like plateauing, they get comfortable. And the second that you get comfortable is really, in my opinion, when you start your descent. Yeah. So if the day that you never stop growing, it's always when you get to this position. I'm going to use our company as an example. So you start off as a knocker. The goal is closer. Yeah. You become a closer. You're making that filthy money, and your life changes. But then you become a closer. And now it's all about being a market owner. The people that don't continue to grow in this company are the people who achieve that one goal, and then they're done.
They're done.
That's not the goal.
They feel like they're satisfied.
You're never finished. I read David Goggins' Never Finished book, and ultimately the fight never stops. The war never stops. Yep. You go from day one until you're dead. And that's it. There is no day. There's no retirement. There's no never stop working. It's ultimately from this point. Day one is the day that you start, and it's until you stop. So, yeah. Well, what's some of the stuff that you've noticed as far as like pushing yourself through and motivating yourself? And
I would say, great question. So what I would say is that really is a huge factor with this whole motivation is that show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Yeah.
You know, we are very good about, we surround ourselves with like-minded people, the people that want to grow and don't want to plateau. Mm-hmm. So if you're hanging out with people that don't want, if they're jealous of your success and not wanting to see you grow, well, guess what? You'll never grow any farther because you are who you surround yourself with.
And tag in also, what do you think, what do you have to do to surround yourself with those types of people? What does it take? So, ultimately, I know that, one of my favorite sayings is success is not selfish, or success is not heartless, but it will make you use your heart less.
Yeah.
So just like the standard in our office, what have we done here? We have best friends in this office, but at the end of the day, friends don't matter. You surround yourself with people who are on the common goal. Mm-hmm. And if you don't see the same vision as us, then you may not.
Well, in my opinion, like you said, we have some best friends in this office, and I've gotten to the point in my life where if you're holding me back and not wanting me to keep growing as a person, well, then you're not going to be a part of my life. It's just simple, and that's one thing that we've really implemented in this office is that when you come into this office, business is business. Mm-hmm. Outside of this, we can go snowboarding, we can go do whatever, we can go hang out, we can go hiking, we can be best friends. Mm-hmm. But when we get inside this work environment, we are all here to help each other grow, hold each other to a standard to where I'm not going to let you slack, you're not going to let me slack. Mm-hmm. If I tell you I'm going to do something, you're going to hold me accountable and say, Dakota, you said that you were going to do that, go do it.
Yep.
Why lie to yourself? Mm-hmm. I think it was Kyle in our chat the other day that was talking to the company and about goal setting. Mm-hmm. And it really clicked in my head. A lot of people don't really realize this, especially, a lot of people that go out there and they set their New Year's resolutions. I'm going to work out, I'm going to do all this. Come February 1st, they done quit.
Yep.
Right? So if you had somebody in your life that lies to you over and over and over again, what are you going to do? Mm-hmm. You're going to kick them out of your life, and they're not going to be a part of you no more.
That's it.
So when you come in here and you set your goals and find your why and have that motivation, don't lie to yourself. If you tell yourself you're going to do it, have that discipline and go do it.
And it's the consistency in holding that truth too. So if you wake up and you say, I'm going to keep a New Year's resolution, one of my New Year's resolutions is to keep it for 365 days.
Yep.
I had to add that to it because last year I made it till August and I pretty much gave up. Mm-hmm. Not on everything, but I slimmed down a whole lot on holding myself accountable. Did I slow down, in growth? No. I probably could have kept going. going. But ultimately, if I would have held myself truly accountable, I would be in a better shape than I would be right now.
Yep.
I'd probably be in a better health than I am
Be a
right
better
now.
person all the way around.
All around, because it's all about accountability.
That's
and
it.
for me to be a leader in this office and to keep the standard in our office, I have to live that lifestyle myself, because I'm a hypocrite if I come in here and tell everybody to wake up early, work out, and
Cold shower.
and I don't do so.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it would show. If you're in here saying that you're doing all that, well, hey, you can sit here and you can lie to yourself and all that, but guess what? It will come out.
Oh, yeah.
It will come from your production, from anything. So that's one thing that I really think that we implement so good in this office. And it's not just from us.
No.
It's from our team members.
Yep.
The people that are with us, that hold us accountable, that rely on us, and we couldn't thank them enough for being a part and helping us grow, which is why that we love them in here and we help them grow. So let's kind of really break down. We're talking about the routine and stuff like that, but really talk about like the attitude that you have to have towards everything.
Yep.
As far as belief, and what you're trying to accomplish in yourself.
I always say that if you doubt yourself, and it starts with yourself, because first off, you have to have confidence in yourself, and then you can have confidence in holding promises to yourself, like waking up early. When you're confident in yourself, it's easier to wake up early because you're confident that you're going to do so. Your mind is a crazy, crazy muscle right now. So it's working so hard against itself, because whenever you roll out of bed, half your brain's saying, just roll back over, Garrett.
Right.
But the other half of your brain's saying, non-negotiable, you better get your ass up. That's where it comes to. But you have to power your brain. It's almost, you have to manage your brain to let that non-negotiable overpower the comfort. You have to shrink this comfort down so small to where it's non-negotiable. Everything you do in your life is a non-negotiable. If you say that you're going to do something, you do it. And that becomes the small little steps, and to where every single day you do it every day, and then your mindset every day, that non-negotiable side grows every single day. But if you bounce back and forth, one day you sleep late, one day you get up early, one day you sleep late, one day you get up early, you won't ever grow. It's never
no
gonna
consistency
happen.
and no commitment.
Yeah.
And I really love this, because there's a gentleman in our office that's had a lot of success, and one thing that he told me a story, and he actually qualified as a closer, and on his second qualifying month, this just goes back to the commitment to yourself and finding your motivation, right? So when he was trying to qualify, it takes 8 sales, back-to-back months to qualify as a closer. On his second month, what this gentleman did is he wrote down his why and what he was trying to accomplish, and had a self-contract written to himself.
Yep.
As crazy as it sounds, a lot of people out there just, think, oh my goodness, why would somebody do this,
Yep.
But this is what you have to do to bring yourself to that next level.
And on a Grant Cardone level, he makes a statement that it's being successful, people are going to look at you like you're a nut, like you are crazy, like this guy has lost his mind, he's psychotic.
Yep.
Because to become successful, it takes incredible things.
Yep.
Like for all of our group, the only reason we're growing is because we've taken a leap of faith to move across the country to do door-to-door sales.
Yep, that's it.
We've never heard of that. There's not, I mean, I'm sure they have it in Louisiana.
Yeah, it's just not near as big,
No, but we took a leap of faith, and people call us crazy every day. They're like, no way they're really making that kind of money. But we're crazy, because we are crazy. We do some crazy stuff.
People in Louisiana don't even have no soliciting signs.
That's it.
There ain't a door in Colorado that doesn't have a no soliciting sign.
That's it.
So, but especially like I was saying, like with the contract to itself, what this gentleman did is he put his contract in himself, wrote it on a piece of paper, and put it in his wallet. And when he was out there on his second qualifying month, every time that he set an appointment and got out his business card, when he opened his wallet, guess what? There was his goals and his why, right whenever he opened it and why he was setting that appointment. So guess what that did? It comes back to the same saying, out of sight, out of mind. So if your goals and your why, if you don't know what you're trying to accomplish, well, then you're never going to get there. So, when you legally, hold yourself accountable to that, really stick to it and have that motivation to never give up, have that 100% commitment.
That's like one of the biggest things is that if you don't write the goals down, it's not a goal. It's a dream.
It's a dream.
You're dreaming about it. But if you write it down and you put it on paper, that's the first step of action towards achieving something. If you don't write it down, it's an idea. You know, ideas, they never come to fruition.
They got a lot of dreamers out there.
Ever, yeah. So it's just ultimately, if you're going to do it, it starts with writing it down on paper. So that's definitely going to help.
And let's also talk about, really let's break down, and this is not just, in the door-to-door industry. This is just in everyday life. Belief in yourself. I know you kind of just talked about it a little bit, but let's really dive into that. Belief in yourself and believe what you're doing. Believe what you're selling or whatever your career might be, because selling is in everything. A lot of people don't realize that. Grant Cardone really breaks it down in Sell or Be Sold, his book, is that even on a 9-to-5, you're selling.
Yeah.
You're selling in life in general.
Every
You sell,
day.
You always make the joke, I'm going to let you even say, talk about a kid.
Yep.
How we always talk about it, when the knockers are knocking doors as far as, trying to get somebody to buy into what they're selling. Kind of break that down on your story, on what you say.
Yeah, so ultimately, as far as belief goes, it's the craziest thing because I break it always down. So we back up to everybody's been a kid before. Everybody's got a mom and dad or, somebody that raised them. If you're in a situation that you finish out your day at school and you want to go to your friend's house, if you say, Mom, I want to go to my friend's house, and she's gonna say, Baby, no, you don't need to go over there today. It's getting late, school night, whatever, giving you excuses. Those are all objections to what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to sell her on. But if you believe, which as a kid, we were Grant Cardone, children are the best salesmen, right? Because they're ruthless. They will go through anything to make the sale. So that's the way you have to be with your product and yourself. If you go up to a homeowner and you sell it like you sell your parents, you're going to be saying, Mom, come on, please. I did the laundry last night. I made an A on my test last week. I won't go there for long. I'll just go for 2 hours. You're going to come up every single rebuttal that you could possibly come up on to sell your mother. So it's the same thing if you're selling a product. For us, we're in door-to-door sales. When I knock on the door, I mentally envision that my mom is going to answer this door. Yeah. I know I can sell my mom. I can sell my mom, but I've been selling her since I could talk.
Yeah.
So if you have that same belief in yourself and belief that this person, she's just a regular person or he's just a regular person, he might be someone's mom, he's someone's dad. And you go up there with that same mentality that nobody's going to sell me. It's my belief versus yours, and I'm going to sell my belief on my mom. So when you believe in yourself, it comes down to keeping those promises with yourself, and then it's easy to keep promises with others.
Right, absolutely. And that really goes into, as far as where you could really think about it, is like the process and everything like that, is you have to really, you can't just, believe half. You can't be 50%.
If you doubt it in your toenail,
it won't happen.
Your toenail is disposable. It's going to grow and cut off. But if you doubt yourself that much, a homeowner a buyer will pick you apart and see that in you.
Yep.
But if you believe it fully, you'll start pulling stuff out your butt.
Yep,
and you're going to have the best excuses. Yeah, so belief in the product's really important. Belief in yourself, and as far as like believing in the end result is one of the biggest things. So what would you kind of say as far as like believing and seeing that vision? What's like so important about to keep you motivated?
I would say you have to manifest, man. You have to see the end goal, but you have to fall in love with the process.
That's big.
The biggest thing here is that if you sit here and you're looking, just like we were talking about when people plateau. So a knocker, when they get promoted to become a closer, if they sit there and plateau and they look at as closer at the end goal, well, then they'll never go any farther. But if you're looking at, okay, one day my 10-year plan is, to be a market owner, well, then you have these small baby steps. So fall in love with the process of, okay, I got to do this to become that market owner. So belief in the process, and know that if you accomplish what you're committed to, then you will become that market owner in 10 years. And that's just not, that's in just everyday life. Like you were saying with the kid and stuff like that, like when we're kids and you're talking to your mom and you're like, Mom, I want to go do this, because whenever you go over to your friend's house, everybody's going to be playing football.
Yep.
So your ultimate goal is is to go play football with your friends.
Yep.
But you have to find a way to get to your friend's house so that you can play football.
And problem solve.
Problem solve.
Through rebuttals to the objections that
Yep.
your parents give you. Same exact thing when you're on the door. You get down and you find someone who is a little bit interested in our product, and therefore we problem solve to make a solution to where we can set an appointment and show them how to fix their problem.
Exactly.
That's all it is. And success is just, it's doing that on a large basis, just doing it over and over and doing it consistently every day. You know,
Right.
find a product, dive in head first, and then you can see success. But it takes that commitment for sure. And then yeah, let's talk kind of get back to the standard in our office. So as far as like for us, the easiest way to grow is to build, in a sense, build an army of people that are like-minded. And if you have people that are like-minded and that surround you, all they're going to do is push you to grow. But if you're too weak-minded to cut somebody off that is dragging you down, then you're never going to amount to as much. But you have to learn, and you have to be able to decipher the people who are going to help you grow and the people who are dragging your weight. And then when you start to decide, Gary Vee, he makes a statement that successful people, they learn to fire fast. You know, and that's what that is. It's success is not heartless. It makes you use your heart less, and that's because we may see a little bit of potential in people that come into this office, but if they don't fit in our standard, they're never going to. It's not. They need to make the mental change and the self growth before they come back and join us.
And I want you to really break that down. Just kind of with that statement, kind of really break down on what you mean by making using your heart less. Whenever you become successful and start surrounding yourself with a lot of people.
And I think for me, it's like I'll use examples that I have done.
Yep.
So in situations where I know I probably potentially might have lost friends, but again, that's just it's life, and I always say that life is from here to here. All right, from here to here. I've partied, I haven't accomplished anything, I've lived a fun life. Today is right here. From here to here is sacrifice. And then I have to give 110%. And then if I can sacrifice from here to the end is going to be great.
Yeah.
So it's just, as far, what exactly was your question that you were asking just a second ago?
Yeah, so as far as like using your heart less, so you were saying, like how you lost friends and stuff like that. So
yeah, so that was what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
In that short period of time, that's where you have to make your circle so small. You can have a large circle in the beginning and you can have a huge circle at the end. But during the years of sacrifice, it's going to take where you're going to have to be selfish.
Right.
Success, winning is selfish. Kobe Bryant, if you're not holding up to your standard, he says sit the bench, get somebody in that wants him in. So it's not that he doesn't like you. It's not that we don't want you in the room. You're not on board to help us get where we're going. Yeah. So it's yeah.
And I'll elaborate on that. That just goes back, just like you said with Kobe Bryant. You're only strong as your weakest link.
That's it.
And that's one thing that we really do very well in this Denver office is with the accountability and stuff like that. That if you're not on the same board we're all going to the same place. We say it all the time. We're all going to the same place. It's just a matter of you want to get on board and go with us.
That's it.
So if you're gonna be the weight on the back of the boat that's holding us back to where we can't get wide open, well, guess what? I'm gonna have to get heartless, and I love you. Outside of work, we can
still go snowboard.
Yeah, we
next
go
week.
Snowboard. But inside, whenever we're in here, I'm sorry, but we've cut heads. We just, you can't be here no more.
Yeah.
Because whenever you have that one negative person in the room, like you say all the time, it decreases the whole room's productivity by 30%. And if you bring one motivated person, it's going to increase their productivity by 15%.
Yeah. And also, just to tag in on that too, so one thing that I've noticed is it's not even all about who you surround yourself in work. It's also who you surround yourself in your day-to-day or just in life in general. I hate to say it, but there's if there's a family member in your family that your family is just every time you talk to them, they are so negative that they just drag you down over the phone. For us it could be across the country, but they're going to drag you down. If there's a situation like that, you need to step back and say, look, I love their family. I love them. I'll go see them every family reunion. I'll go see them when I go visit. But ultimately, I cannot call this person anymore. It's just, I'll go visit. But every time I pick up the phone and talk to them, they bring me down, it's somebody that I need to cut off. So it doesn't have to be somebody that you see on a day-to-day. That's where the success makes you use your heart less, is because with family. Yeah, we love family and we want to keep them present. But if they're not helping us to grow, family is one of the biggest ones that will hold you back, because they're so used to seeing, they're comfortable seeing you where you rely on them.
Right.
They don't want to see you surpass them. So whenever you start doing so, they're going to start dragging you back. So it takes that short period of time where you have to cut them off, or not completely, but you lessen your conversations with them, and then you can continue to reach that goal.
Yeah. And let's really talk about, especially like the full 365 on where we find our motivation every day, about being present. If you take one day off, like you said, if you wake up 5 a.m. and then, for a week you go, oh man, I'm going to sleep until 7:30 every day. Well, you're losing.
That's it. One day off, I feel like you take 3 days.
Yep. After that first day, it's way easier to take that second and third day.
Yeah. My favorite saying is that habits are easy to make, good or bad. If it takes one habit, waking up early. We've done 4 days this week of waking up and doing what we're supposed to do. I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel good, But it takes one day of sleeping in late. There was Jesse, I think his first day here, he woke up early with me and he went back to bed and went and laid down for 30 minutes or 45 minutes and then got back out of bed. He felt like shit. But that one bad habit will lead to your next bad habit, which, it may be forgetting to brush your teeth, or, not eating breakfast, or not drinking a protein shake or a muscle milk, or whatever it is that you do that's going to help you grow. One bad habit will lead to another bad habit, which will lead to more bad habits. So that's why it's so important that 365, you're so accountable on yourself for every hour of the day. Saying what you're going to do, you are going to do. And not taking the easy route. It's just, my favorite saying is, we do the things that normal people won't do so that we can do the things that they can't do.
Yep.
So that's just it. And that's what we're doing. We put ourselves in an uncomfortable situation as soon as we wake up. And that routine, it almost forms our brain to become a routine attitude.
Let's really break down him and talk about motivation. Okay. This guy he worked at Chili's, correct? Hasn't had anything his whole life. How old is he? 32 years old?
32 years old, served tables since he was 18.
Since he was 18 years old. He got here, 2 days ago? He's been on the door for 2 days. Okay, and he's made over $3,500.
Yep.
More money than this guy has made in a 2-month period at Chili's.
Yep.
Completely changed his life. He's living with you currently.
He said he used to make about $600 a week.
Yep, $600 a week. But let's talk about the motivation that he has, because like you said, he slacked that first morning. You called him out on it. You held him accountable. And then look what he does every morning now. He gets up at 5 a.m., same time you get up, gets dressed, and walks around a neighborhood and rehearses books, rehearses anything that he can gain more knowledge on.
And for him, last night we were sitting around talking, and he said, man, it's just crazy because, it's hard to do the things that you're telling me to do, like get up early and taking a cold shower, and especially, I didn't think that any of that stuff would ever help, but I'm watching, in 2 days' time, I've watched results. Yep. I see results. I'm seeing success. I'm seeing change in my life.
Yep.
So his life has changed forever. He'll never go back to serving a table. His girlfriend will probably never work again. Yeah. It's this job will change your life, but you have to change your life for the job.
Yep. This job is life-changing, but only if you're willing to change your life.
That's the great thing about our Louisiana contingency is we all come from across the country where there's no opportunity to a place for one of the best opportunities that we're going to see in our life.
Yeah. So that's another thing. Like you said, he's seeing immediate results as far as just in the 2 days. Like you said, he's looking at it work in progress. So not only will his life change financially, but as a person, he's going to develop more than he can probably even envision himself right now. And another thing that he'll never do is he'll never go back to his old ways. Because if you come up here and you implement, what the standard that everybody in this office has held themselves to, you will see success.
Yep.
Like we say, we've seen people make $17,000 in a month at the lowest paid position in this company.
Yeah.
But that's because they get up and they do the things that other people aren't willing to do. So if you look at something and you're going, man, this is hard, get up and go do it. It's hard to get up every morning.
So ultimately, like I love what Kyle always says is choose your heart.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things, because if you always choose the hard route, not everybody does that. You want to be in the 1%, the 1% chooses the route that no one takes. If you want to stand out and be the best, you have to stand out. You have to be different. You have to be the one who does what nobody in the room is willing to do. Even if we've got a successful office, I still want to be the best. I want to be the person who I lead this office.
Yep.
It's that mentality of getting hard,
Yeah.
and getting hard, staying hard, like your message yesterday. Kind of go into what you put. We had 9 closes yesterday in here in our Denver office. You set a record of closing 5 appointments in one day. So we haven't
5 for 5.
5 for 5. All right,
Yeah,
so
right.
incredible. Just as far as where does your motivation come for that to actually go out there and do something like that?
Man, I would say I'm getting to the point now in my life where I love, just like Evan or Guppy was with me yesterday when I ran those appointments, and he's in there pumped up and he sees the energy I bring, especially like my shout outs and stuff like that. And like I told him, because he asked me this yesterday, and like I told him, I said, I get more satisfaction now from seeing the other guys get paid in their personal development. Because all they're doing is they're pushing me and motivating me to learn new ways to help other people and grow myself.
Yep.
So seeing these other people come out here and have that success does nothing but motivate me.
And a great motivator too, I'd imagine, is like you were in there in the room with Carter closing his first self-set close.
Yep.
You got to close 5 for 5 with Guppy coming in and watching you. You're going to grow, and it's going to continue to motivate you to watch those 2 guys come in and be successful closers, because you just showed them how to make more money, make that life-changing money. That's the new, as you grow in this company, your new passion, your reason why. When I first got here, my reason why is I'm going to change my family name.
Right.
But now it started off selfish, and you have to start selfish in order to get where you're going. When I started off, it's about me. I'm changing my life.
Yeah.
I'm leaving everybody behind. I'm starting new relationships.
Well, hold on. Before you elaborate too much on that, I always revert this back to, a lot of people can relate to a relationship. Just like what you're saying is that if you're not happy, how can you go out there and get in a relationship and think you're going to have a happy relationship?
It's not going to happen.
If you can't make yourself happy, you surely is not going to make anybody else happy.
You're going to meet somebody, and then you're going to drag them down because you don't have happiness in yourself. And where that stems from is a lack of activity. Just not taking control over your day-to-day when you have control over it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, though, by doing all of those things, that's wherever you're going to start seeing results. Really, really just keep staying current with choosing the hard route every single day, really just grinding and stuff like that.
Right.
Kind of forgot where we were going on like the row before that.
Yeah, you were talking about as far as your motivation of seeing people grow.
Oh, yeah.
Financially, and personal development.
Yeah. So as this job continues, it starts off as like knocker, and it's selfish. I have to become a closer. I have to get to the next job. But once you become market owner, and that is coming up, whenever we start becoming market owners, the new reason why that continues to grow offices is putting the energy and time into the people at the bottom to show them that this is real. And now watching people's lives change every day, like I'm literally giddy from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. Life is great. And it's not because I'm out there grinding so hard. It's because I've trained people and I've gotten people that I've showed them this is how you do it. And just by doing so, like for you, for Jesse, for anybody that comes in and they start at this job at the very, very bottom, and it just takes time. And once you see the vision of I can do this, you get the satisfaction of being able to prove. It's almost like saying I told you so, man. Just being able to say that feels good.
Yeah, and it's kind of a analogy of a plant. You come in here and you don't really know what's going on, and you're just planting your seed. Well, guess what? If you sit here, just like Jesse, he gets up every morning and goes and, gains knowledge, reading books, walking around, just clearing his mind and thinking and progressing as a human. Well, guess what all that is? That's just like watering a plant. You're investing in yourself to where you can just keep developing.
And like bamboo is one that it like sprouts up overnight. So it's like it starts off real like in the ground and it stays forever, and then overnight it'll sprout up 2 or 3 feet, like just overnight, just grows. And that's pretty much what this job is. You know, you continue watering, consistency, and you believe in the process that you will grow, and eventually it's going to happen. Jesse even told me yesterday, he said, I like to get up and go and walk my rounds and review script because I want to get to the meeting warmed up. I don't want to show up to the meeting and use the meeting as my warm-up. I want to be warmed up in the meeting. So then when I hit the doors, I'm even more warmed up. And look at him now. 2 sales on his first day, or his first true day of selling.
He's going to qualify this month.
He could. Yeah, absolutely.
He has the the discipline, the motivation to do it. I don't see why he couldn't. I do want to, before we wrap this up, I do want to talk about one thing. As far as, we've had a lot of growth, especially, since this podcast has started. We have a lot of people reaching out to us. Let's really talk about, as far as the people that have reached out to us, and heck, we've reached out to people that we know that would be good at this job, and they don't even realize in their head, they don't even see the talent that they have and how many lives they can change. We see it because we're here, but when we're telling them, hey, dude, like, come on, like, I promise you, you're going to succeed. You just have to commit. And let's talk about they have the motivation, they want to, but they're scared to take that leap of faith. We've ran into it a lot in the past 3 weeks since this podcast is going up. So let's really elaborate that. So when they listen to this podcast, they can really just see like our perspectives on what we're trying to explain to them, because right now we're in Denver and they're, back at home, or, I've talked to a guy in Austin and Dallas. So, just talking to different people just over the phone on how we can relate that to them.
Yeah, it is really hard though, just because ultimately for me, there was a time at my point where my back was against the wall and I was ready for change. Sometimes, God works in crazy ways where some people they're not ready. They're not deep down in their heart. They're not really ready for change. They're comfortable with the life that they have, and they're like, well, why uproot and leave this comfort that I have whenever I'm making it. I'm doing okay. I get to do what I want. That kind of stuff. But I feel like it really, really helps for like to get the people out here is they have to understand the opportunity that we're giving them. We're giving them a place to live. We're giving them free meals because we pay for them when they come and stay with us. We're giving them direct training for 24 hours a day for 60 days. 2 months that they live in our house that we invest so much into them. But it's just ultimately, I always tell myself that I don't get upset for the people that don't come up here. You can't help the helpless. And, homeless people are homeless because they want to be homeless. I'm a believer in that. It's not because of they made choices. Just like me and you make a choice to wake up at 4 o'clock this morning to go work out at CrossFit. They make the choice to not wake up at all. So it's choices. You cannot help people who don't want to be helped. But right now, we give opportunities, and we continue to grow. We continue to offer the opportunity, and eventually people are going to, like it has. People see what we're offering to them, and eventually it's going to click in their mind. But the people that are going to come, they're going to come. It's just a matter of when. So there's people probably listening right now who have doubted. I wouldn't say that doubted us, but but ultimately that are watching our growth coming along, and you can be here a year from now in our exact shoes.
I haven't even been with this company for a year.
My
first day was March 1st, so I'm still not even on a year. I have 2 more months.
And the opportunity that you came in, it took you 2 months to really learn the job, kind of get the rhythm down, your routine. But in that first 2 months, it's all about self-growth. So in the first 2 months, all we're trying to do is get you to change your life. And then when you change your life, the job is easy. But it's just, people don't like change. That's the problem with the world is like people don't like to change whenever they get into a rhythm of comfort.
Oh yeah, and that's one thing. Maybe we'll talk about that next podcast.
Comfort.
We'll really just talk about failure.
Yeah.
Being scared to fail.
Yeah. Coming out here and failing multiple times.
Taking that leap. So we'll definitely break that down in the next podcast. But hey, we appreciate everybody. We definitely appreciate all the support. Drop some comments below. Let us know any questions or anything that you would like us to elaborate on. We love this. We love interacting with everybody that's in our audience and support us. So my name is Dakota Lang. This is Garrett Cotton. So we greatly appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.